Hi, friends. This is a Data Guest episode. In this episode, you'll hear from someone looking for a match. I'll be asking questions to help them bring out their personality and showcase themselves. You can evaluate whether they're a good fit for you or someone you know. Here we go. Hi, everybody. On today's Data Guest episode, we have Isabel from the Boston, Massachusetts area. Hey, Isabel. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, good afternoon. Thanks for chatting with me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on as a guest. This is exciting. Do you mind just giving some people the idea of your elevator pitch, just telling everybody a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So my name's Isabel. I live in the greater Boston area. I'm 33 and straight. I use she, her pronouns. So I'd probably be looking to date a man who's probably also in his 30s who lives around here. I live close to public transportation, but I don't have a car. So that is a limiting factor, I suppose, at least for me coming to hang out with someone. In terms of who I am as a person, so I actually, in a very on brand way for me, when I was single for basically the first time ever, just over a year ago, I sent a survey out to a bunch of people in my life and asked them for dating tips and who they thought I should look for and things like that. And I also asked, like, what do you think I should play up? Like, what do I bring to the table? If I was to make a dating app profile for the first time or go on a date, like, what do you think I should lean into and be upfront about? And I was really surprised that the feedback that I got was very, very consistent from, my parents, my childhood best friend I met when I was 2, through coworkers that I'd only worked with for a year. Um, and the recurring themes were really just creativity, caringness, kind of like zany spontaneity, um, humor, wit. Like a lot of people just really liked that. Seemed like I thought about them a lot. And I do think that's something that I bring to relationship a lot is I think about other people a lot and how they think.
And you're very smart as well, right? You have a good job, and the way that you've talked about your way of organizing events in the past and things like that. Clearly, you are a smart person who has a lot to offer from that side professionally as well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Feel like I forget because so many people around here and that I hang out with, they're all just very cool multi hyphenate. So thank you.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that you mentioned to me is that you like creating things with your hands, right? What are some of the favorite crafts that you create?
Let's see. So I made a lot of crafts for the event that I planned recently. I like making jewelry. I like sewing, making clothes, decorating clothes, making gifts for people. I did some flower arranging yesterday. I did a woodworking course and a wood carving course in this past year. I just like learning new skills and sort of being offline, making something exists, like figuring out how to make something that I want to make. I find really fun. And yeah, I'm a designer by trade. So I do care a lot about the marriage of like form and function and making things and making them better.
Awesome.
There's not
Yeah,
really a
that's
craft
great.
I haven't tried before.
So, are you open to doing that, or have you done that on events as well in terms of dating? Like on dates, do you do crafts type or crafts oriented dates as well?
I will now. Oh my goodness. What am I doing? I mean, I've done creative things with like a boyfriend before, but I don't think I have as a date. That's odd because I have been on dates with creative people and we've talked about things. Whatever date I go on next is definitely going to be a craft date though. Great idea. And that is kind of a spoiler for an event I have in mind for a touch grass event that could be upcoming.
Oh, okay. All right. Good to know. You will I'll keep looking for them.
Yeah.
And so you talked about how when we were chatting earlier, you talked about how you love learning about the world. You love
Mm.
learning about other people, other cultures. You like going to museums and things like that as well, right?
Yeah, I do. I really love the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, not only because I get in for free, because my name's almost Isabel, but I love context. I love learning about how someone lived and how these interesting creative people had their home set up and who they hung out with. And yeah, I love a museum that shows those things rather than just like one of each famous artist on a white wall. We did a Gallup Strengths Finder quiz at work a few weeks ago. And I don't know if you know what that is, but 4 of mine were in the my strengths were in the category of, like, connection building with people, liking to work on things with people, understanding them. Empathy was my most strong trait that I got, and then the other one that I had in my top 5 was context, and I've been trying to lean into those strengths more and be like, "Oh, I do love context." Anytime I have a project, I need to know the background. I need to know why I'm doing this, and, I guess it's very, INFP of me, but yeah, I think that also informed why I planned that event too, that I just like people and making things for people, even though I'm very introverted and need a lot of time to socially recharge my batteries. It's like a difficult combination sometimes, yeah.
So you can fake the extrovert, but then you need to recharge after a big event or a public speaking event.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm very scared of public speaking. When I spoke at that event, one of my friends who volunteered was like, "Yeah, you got on the microphone and then immediately apologized twice in a row for nothing. It was very on brand for you." He's having some technical issues. Yeah.
And you love being outside, you said, right?
Mm.
So what are some of the hobbies or things that you like to do outside, either by yourself or with a partner?
Yeah. So I love swimming. I grew up swimming a lot. I've always loved swimming. Don't do a ton of outdoor swimming in Massachusetts, though I think the pools are going to be opening in a few weeks. So hopefully this summer, a little more. I like to ride my bike. I like to bike commute. I love just going on walks. That's something I like to do with friends, and I would definitely do pretty regularly with a partner. I like hiking, though I feel like that in New England, you can't really claim you like hiking unless you're hiking, like, every weekend, and I'm more of a just, like, down to hike person, I think, rather than, it's my main thing I do all the time, and I get imposter syndrome about it, but I do find it fun. And just, like, being outside, like, I wanna eat outside, I wanna, go to events like Open Studios or Porch Fest or some of these local things that just encourage you to have the sun on your face and not be on your phone.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you also, you had mentioned to me that you like British humor, like kind of
Yeah.
silly British humor.
Yeah, so my parents are both British, they live in the UK now, and, I grew up learning their sense of humor,
Hmm.
and we watched a lot of, BBC shows on the CBC, the, Canadian channel, and so I like those panel shows, like Taskmaster, Peep Show, things like that. So I like more of like a dry, witty humor. That's something that I like to connect with a partner on, just making each other laugh because that's the point. I don't know. And being able to laugh in a silly situation. And yeah, it's such a sign of intelligence, I think, too.
Yeah, so you need someone who's smart enough to make you laugh.
Yeah.
And with the British humor, people they have to have that dry or very, very witty, smart sense of them. So that
Yeah, it
makes
could be
sense.
quite quick.
And how do you feel about animals in general? Are you cat person, dog person?
I love animals. So I've only ever had cats, though I work in a dog friendly office. So there's a lot of really nice dogs I see every day. But I have a cat named Beatrix. She ran for mayor of the Somerville Bike Path last year. She didn't win, but that's okay. And then I also have an aquarium that has a frog in it. His name's Hugo, and I've got a fish and some snails. And so we have a really fun little family routine where I feed Beatrix and then I feed the fish and she runs up to me and I pick her up and she watches the fish and the frog eat. And she like will purr while I hold her and she like watches the fish tank. It's very
Oh,
fun.
very cool.
Got a
That's
little
awesome.
jungle in here. Yeah.
So she's more just interested in the process versus interested in like grabbing them when they're close by.
We went through a phase where she was getting a little too interested, so now I have a few things on the fish tank so she can't jump off onto it. But I just call it fish TV. She just loves to watch them. Um,
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Excellent. So, what is the type of person, if you had an archetype of a person that you're interested in, could you describe that type of person, what they might look like for you?
yeah. I think if I had a perfect answer, I probably wouldn't be on this podcast right now. Because I do think there's maybe a difference that I've been exploring the past year between like historical type and things that people that I've dated have coincidentally had in common, and maybe what could feel good for me, who could be good for me, and like understanding what that is. Like, I do feel like I don't know that I believe in the concept of the one. I think there's a lot of people I could be happy with, and a lot of people other people could be happy with in like an optimistic way, right? Um, and there's going to be things you like about them and things you don't like about them,
Mhm.
or things that annoy you. But I guess historically, my type has been fairly intellectual, and I think what I'm looking for is someone who matches my level of conscientiousness. It doesn't need to be exactly the same, but someone who would also like find joy and see the beauty in, like, for example, this event that I'm doing. You know, they don't have to understand why I'm doing something that I'm doing, but I would love their support. And I'd really like someone who is really kind, not just nice, and not just kind to me because, they want to go on a date with me, and not just kind to me because they think that I'm the best person in the whole world, but kind to everyone they meet and everyone they know, rather whether or not other people are around, and kind to themselves. So yeah, it'd be cool if they'd, gone to therapy or whatever. And yeah, I guess creativity is really important to me. Again, that's not a requirement, but just like understanding the creative flow state. Maybe they have something that gets them there too. Make me laugh or at least think I'm funny. I guess I didn't think I had that many things, and now I'm rambling a few off. Someone who has like a global citizen is kind of like a cheesy way of describing this, but I do like to travel, and that's something I want to keep up. I don't really have family here, which is part of why I've been so focused on community building. That would be nice. And this is such a cliche, but I am quite tall myself. I'm 5'9". So I feel like I've historically been attracted to people who tend to be taller than I am.
Okay. And with heels or without? Like, would you be fine with someone who
Oh.
is 5'9" as well?
See, that's one that has made being on the dating apps tough because I thought I was fine, and then I've been on a few dates with men who were 6 feet tall, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm 6 feet tall because we're the same height. So that's a tough one to answer. I don't wear heels a lot, but I think I really like my height, and I am not willing to be put in a situation where that's not viewed as a strong plus.
Yep, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Just a quick aside, I had a picture on my dating profile when I was dating, and I called it proof of height. It was me in front of a 7-Eleven door that had the little
Nice.
like
Yeah.
height thing when you walk in. So I was
It's
like, that's definitely a thing. I mean, when you say that, I've heard
oh,
a
yeah.
lot of women say that men
Yeah.
lie about their height.
Yeah. It's tough, and I think the apps are making it worse because it's so set on a number. It makes it hard for a lot of people. I was hoping that was something that maybe some people would get around or, like, question at my in-person event. Yeah.
Okay, I think you gave really great parameters of kind of what you're interested in. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a specific type of person, but anything else that you want to add on what that type of person might be for you?
I mean, I suppose I'd like them to like cats. They don't have to be a crazy cat person like I am, but they probably shouldn't be allergic. That's not gonna end well.
Mm, true. Yes, that makes sense.
And I'm 33 and I want kids, so that is a factor that I would want my next person I date seriously to be in alignment with me on that being something they're interested in and being self-aware that, that doesn't just happen. There's some how do I phrase this? I would like to date someone who's excited about the idea of finding their person and settling down and is ready for that and knows what they want. Yeah.
Yeah, great synopsis. Last question for me. I think you made reference to your family not being here because they're overseas, they're in the UK. Long term, are you looking to kind of be in the Boston area as far as the United States, or are you looking to live overseas, maybe have, long term with this, maybe a location one and maybe a summer house in the UK or something like that as well?
Um, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm happy in Massachusetts right now. I love the city where I live. I have a strong support community here and I like my job, though I'm also not tied to being here forever. I don't have any family in New England. I could move back to the Midwest. I don't know. I think I'm pretty open, but I don't have any reason right now to move anywhere else, if that makes sense.
Sure. All right. So do you have any parting thoughts in terms of anything that I maybe haven't asked you that you'd like to get across to listeners about who you are?
I guess I didn't mention like I'd prefer they had like liberal politics. I think someone could probably read between the lines and figure that out, but that would be something that I would like. And I'm not religious. People might want to know that.
Awesome. Well, Isabel, it's been so great learning about you and hearing about what a dynamic and interesting person you are. Thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was nice to chat.
All right. And for anybody listening, again, if you want to date Isabel, just go to donewithdating.co and you can apply to date her. Just put in the episode number and her name. And then I would ask, you heard a lot about her. So submit a video about yourself. It doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be, crazy editing or anything. Just enough, an elevator pitch of what you would be able to tell her based on what you heard her looking for. And maybe if there's certain elements of what she said that you connected with, maybe just include that. And so you can upload that to the website. I will forward that plus your application over to her for her to consider. So, Isabel, again, thanks very much, and we'll talk soon.
Cool. Thank you. I look forward to seeing those videos.
All right. Now that you heard from our guests, did you like them? Were they a good fit for you? If so, go to donewithdating.co and apply to date them. It's that simple. I'll pass your photos and videos and the application to the guests for them to evaluate whether you are a good match for them. Maybe you don't think they're a good fit for you, but you like them for your friend. Share the episode and then subscribe to the podcast so that you can eventually find that good match for you. See you on another episode.